Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I am super excited about this topic because I'll be talking about the rights you have over that property you own. Yes, whether you're a tenant, you're an owner, I'll be talking about the rights you have, whether you have limited rights or you have full or maximal rights. Ownership comprises of a bundle of rights. That is negative rights and positive rights. The right to use the property, the right to not use the property, yes, of course, the right to dispose the property, to possess the property, the right to restrict people from entering or from trespassing, the right to reclaim, the right to prevent invasion. The owner of a property has such bundle of rights, both positive and negative. So if you own a property, like you have bought the property and the title has already been transferred to you, just know that you have this right and you can use the property as you wish, but of course with limitations. So the next question that you may ask is, how do I prove that I am the owner of a property? Or how do I prove that I have ownership over a property? It's simple, and everything I'm going to list out, they're independent of themselves. So it's not a process to follow. You can decide to pick one to prove your ownership and leave the rest aside, or pick two. It just depends. And all the ways to prove your ownership that I'll be listing have actually been buttressed by the court. So I'm not just picking ideas from random places. They've actually been buttressed by the courts. So number one way to prove that you are the owner of a property is possession. Number two way, it's also similar to the first one, long possession. So you can decide to prove that, oh, okay, I am the owner of a property because I have been in possession of such property for a while now, for a long time now. The third way to prove that you're the owner of a property is by doing what the owner of a property does. And like I said, exercising your rights as the owner. And what are the ways of exercising your rights as the owner? I have said this before, either by selling the house or by renting out the house or by leasing the house. It depends. There are different ways to show that or to exercise your rights as the owner, either by preventing others from invading your property, or by preventing trespassers, or by reclaiming your property. Those are like ways to exercise your rights. So the third way to prove that you're the owner of the right is that in one way or another previously you've exercised your rights as the owner, and I've listed those rights, right? So you can exercise, you have exercised your right as owner. That's a very simple way. It's evidence enough to show that you are the owner of the property by exercising your rights as the owner. So that's the third way. The fourth way is by traditional or historical evidence. Please, it's not so deep. So you know that in Nigeria, of course, we have traditions, we have customs and the rest. And how land sale and real estate, in quotes, came about is, oh, okay, a group of persons like our forefathers, our forefathers, right? They acquired the land, or like they migrated to a place and then they found land, they found land and they cleared the land, and afterwards, after clearing the land, they occupied the land, they possessed the land, and they started living. So automatically the land belongs to them, and they will now, most of them now transfer it to their children, and their children will now transfer it to their children, like that. So some children may decide to sell it to another person that is interested in that land, and most times they don't even, it's not in written form, of course. Back then in the days, there was nothing like that. So what they just basically do is that they call their members, family members, and they sit over it, they deliberate over it, and they give you the permission to, or they sell the land to you for a token, for consideration. That's what it's called, consideration, right? You pay a certain sum, which is called the consideration, and then they give out the land to you. So this is another way by history. And if you want to prove that you're the owner, how you can go about it is that you gather the members, the family members. You remember me, right? I bought your land, and they all agree to it, they all assent to that previous transaction that occurred. So that is another way. So people that bought the land from like back then in the days and they did this traditional method, it's still very much valid. But then with the way things are going, it's just better and safer to have things documented, to have things written down. It's safer, it's just safer. But then it doesn't invalidate what has already happened, the transactions that already happened. All you just need to do is to call the family members and are able to prove that, okay, fine, the transaction happened. And you can also prove other things to show that you're the owner. And I've listed those other things. That is possession, long possession. The third one being exercising your rights as an owner. The fourth is customary, traditional, or historical ways. Then the fifth way of proving ownership that the court has buttressed in previous cases is the production of title documents. It's very easy, very easy. All you just need to do is produce your title documents. That's okay, you've bought this land, you furnished everything, the contracts, the consideration, you paid a certain amount of money, this is where the land is located, this is where the land is situated. These are your witnesses to show that, okay, you truly bought that land, and everything that can be found in a title document. So that's just what it means. Title document is written, and like I said, it is safer to have a title document because it is a safer form of evidence. Showing your title documents is also a way to prove your ownership. The sixth way to prove that you're the owner of a property, to prove ownership, is that you can say, or you can describe, you can identify the land with precision. Of course, there are strong evidences and there are weak evidences, but then these are the ways you can prove that you're the owner of a property. So if your land or your house is in dispute and you know that you bought that property, these are the ways to actually prove that you're the owner of such property.